Good morning, everyone. I hope that you're having a great day. Today, I just wanted to quickly make a video to introduce Plot Mountain to you, or the plot of a story. Okay, so every story that we read, whether it be in our textbook or in a storybook format, has a plot. Okay, and what that means is it's the way that the story is laid out. Okay, so there's a certain structure that most stories follow, okay? The first part of that we have already talked about. It's called the exposition, okay? So this is telling me the setting of the story. This is introducing my reader to where my story takes place and who is in my story or the characters in the story. Okay, so that's the first thing that we're introduced to. So most stories begin by saying, okay, these are who is in the story and this is where it is. Okay, the next part is where we see our characters begin to have some problems. Okay, so this is what we call the rising action. Okay, so this is going the beginning of Plot Mountain and we're starting to go up the mountain. Okay, so things start off pretty okay, and then one thing happens and then another thing happens and it keeps building up until we reach the biggest problem of all. It's the climax, okay? This is the most exciting part of the story. This is the part of the story that gets your reader going, oh, what's gonna happen next? How are they gonna fix this? What's gonna happen? Okay? The biggest problem is called the climax. Okay, so we have the beginning of our story is called the exposition. The problems start with the rising action, and then the top of the mountain is the climax, the most exciting part. Okay, after we introduce our most exciting part, the climax of the story, the story the problems begin to get solved, or things still happen in the story, but it's starting to come down a little bit. It's not as exciting anymore. And we call this the falling action, okay? So it's the opposite of the rising action where problems start happening, building up. Now we're starting to solve our problem, okay? The falling action. The resolution is the end of the story. This is how the story ends. It's how all of the solutions to the problem are solved, and it's like putting the nice bow on the top of a present, okay? It's solving all of the problems. Everything's good or, okay at the end of the story, okay? So what we're going to be doing is we are going to begin writing our own stories, okay? And we are going to fill out our own blank Plot Mountain. Okay, so with the exposition, introduce me to your setting and your characters, and then begin telling me what's going on. Like, where are my problems with our rising action, our biggest problem with our climax, and our falling action? How are those problems getting solved? What are the characters doing? Okay, and then our resolution is the end of the story. Okay. So in Google Classroom, you are going to have to take your notes down if you've not already taken your Plot Mountain notes down. And then you are going to draw Plot Mountain in your notebook, in the writing portion of your classwork notebook, and outline or begin thinking about how you want to write your story. Okay? You're going to fill this out in all of the parts there you can see in Google Classroom. All right, this is your own ideas. This is not a story that you've read somewhere else. Okay, this is your ideas from your brain. It's very important, okay? All right, have a great day. Let me know if you have any questions.